Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly predictions video for next week's episode of Game of Thrones Season 6, which is episode 2. This one is called Home. Okay, so I'll put the link in the description to the only preview we have for the second episode of Season 6 Home. It's called Preview 2 from HBO, but as far as I can tell, it's the only one they've posted. It's the only one that I've seen. So check it out if you haven't watched it yet. It's about 35 seconds long, and we'll go over what it includes. There's no description for this week upcoming episode Home. We don't have any idea what it's going to include or entail or anything aside from what we can see in the promo and much of what we've been seeing so far. It's pretty much going to continue along, obviously, with where we left off. In this one, we do see some new stuff in the promo. We have Bran waking up. We last saw him in Children of the Forest. So what is going to have happened to him all this time? You know, finally getting to catch up with him and find out what he's been up to, and if what part of his group is still alive, what's happening with him, and maybe get some indication of how they're going to work him back into the story. Because if you forget, he hasn't been in the show since season 4. He skipped all of season 5. He was not in the show, so it's kind of weird they're bringing him back in now, but they got to bring him back in at some point. So we're going to get to see probably what he's been up to and what's been happening with him, which is cool because it's almost like if he's disappeared to such an extent, people are probably almost forgot about him entirely. So there's that at the beginning of the promo. Then we have Robert Strong as Cersei goes to talk to her son, it seems, the king, and he's got Lannister men standing against her, and you can see her going up to want to talk to him, and them saying pretty much no, and then Robert Strong coming up and just but that would be a tough fight because there's I counted over a dozen of Lannister men there, and then Robert Strong there. So who would win that battle? That would be interesting to see if Robert Strong could kill all of them at once. It's interesting. Is he stronger now that he's reanimated, or was he stronger when he was alive as the Mountain? And could the Mountain in close quarters kill that many men by himself? That's a tough call, man. It's a tough call. Maybe if they got scared and a few of them ran off, if they were calm, cool, and collected, and one guy got cleaved, then maybe the others could get in there and jump him and get all on him. But I don't think it's going to happen. For my predictions, I'm guessing that probably it's going to calm down, and they're going to either let her speak to him at least, or maybe she'll decide to come back later or something. So we'll see. Of course, Tom is still upset because Marjorie is still in captivity from the High Sparrow. Then we have Sansa and Breanne, who Sansa is asking about her sister Arya and what happened, and it quickly switches over to Arya, and you can see she's still doing her training, her badass ninja, Game of Thrones ninja training to become a super badass ninja assassin, currently still blind, so we'll see if she eventually gets her sight back. I'm thinking she will at some point get her sight back, and this is part of her training, so to speak, to learn to hear, super Daredevil type shit. You guys get the idea. So not expecting much from her this episode too. Her storyline's you get to see her training in something. You hope that eventually it will cross over into her coming back into the story or doing something, because right now she's off by herself and she's disconnected from the rest of what's happening in Braavos, and I just want to see her become something and then see her weave her way back into the story, of course, before this ends at the end of Season 8. And then we have the Boltons talking about possibly attacking Castle Black because Ramsay is so desperate to get Sansa back. She is literally worth like an army by herself to them, maybe more than one army, because with her on their side, they will be able to get the North united. You can see Roose is already starting to talk about possibly going up against the Lannisters and this kind of deal. And he's, it's what he is, who he is. So he is cold and calculating, and I can't wait to see them just be killed off. Don't have too much to say about them with regards to predictions. They'll probably do that. But we know the wildlings are there, and I think we can assume that the wildlings, we've seen in the trailer that the wildlings are going to be fighting against the Boltons. You can see the banners against each other. So will the wildlings first help out Sir Davos and the rest, kill the rest of the Night's Watchmen, take over Castle Black, and then we'll see some kind of battle between the Boltons and the the new army. I don't even know what to call them at this point. They're not entirely wildlings. They're not entirely Night's Watch. So they're like, the resistance to the Night's Watch, or the whoever's alive at that point afterwards and joins up against the Boltons. So that should be definitely a highlight of the season, and probably a few episodes away still, maybe closer to the end of the season, or at least halfway through, we might start to get to see, because that's going to be an epic battle for sure. So that's a ways off, but we're gonna you'll see the continuation of that. We'll see if Sansa actually does get there, and if Jon gets resurrected, then that would be really cool. You would have kind of a force coming up there. You'd have Jon, Sansa, and you'd have the wildlings with Tormund and Davos, and maybe Melisandre will be killed off at some point, or I don't know, sacrifice herself or some shit. I don't know. Maybe the necklace. Spoiler warning, of course. Maybe it stops her from aging. So maybe if she takes it off and leaves it off, she'll die at some point. I don't know. Like maybe that will cause her to kind of. I'm not sure, but somebody said to me in the comments that she's like centuries old, that George R.R. Martin said that. I don't recall that, so if he did, cool. But, because I am forgetful sometimes. But she certainly looks like it. So, can't really say what's going to happen with her. I feel like, we've done the predictions for over a year now that the Jon Snow would be resurrected. I hope that he would, and it's like, after the first episode, it's like, we're not saying that he can't be still. Like, he still can be, because he's been brought into the room, he's being protected by the others, and it seems like maybe Melisandre is deciding what she's going to do, or she seems conflicted. Maybe she wants to die herself, not sure. Maybe she's had enough of this world after Stannis has lost, and maybe she feels bad. Or maybe she did it on purpose or something. I don't know. I can't read her just from her looking in the mirror and seeming to be distraught. Also, I've seen some people bring up online, that's kind of, it seems like a whole, because she's had scenes where she's taken the necklace off before, briefly, and she didn't all of a sudden turn. So I'm not sure what that is. Like, I'm not sure how to account for that. That's kind of tricky. I'm really not sure. Maybe some kind of hole or something, plot hole or something. But we'll see what happens with her. I don't even know what to say with predictions. Like, is Jon going to come back or not? We'll probably find out within the next few episodes. I'm thinking by about episode 3 or episode 4, we'll probably find out if Jon is dead for good, like dead for good, or if he will be brought back. I'm still not ruling it out that he could be, because she's there, he's there, his body's not disintegrated or destroyed or anything, or set on fire. The time he gets buried, the time he gets set on fire is when I'll be like, okay, the theory was wrong, and most of us are wrong if we thought he was going to come back. No, he's dead, and we're wrong. But it feels like someone's got to lead this new kind of force, and I don't really see Sir Davos being the one to lead the wildlings and everybody else, unless it's Tormund who does it. And even with him too, I still don't feel like that. I feel like they need Jon, so I still feel like there's a good chance he's going to come back. I'd still go 60-40, but it could go either way. There's no way to know for sure. And then we have Jaime with the High Sparrow. So he goes to talk to the High Sparrow. We've seen some of these parts in the trailer, and looks like that should be an interesting scene. He kind of looks like he's got a dagger, and he knows he's defenseless, and he's got a few of his religious monk brethren there, type of deal. So is he going to just put a dagger in his heart and just let whatever happens afterwards happen? Man, interesting. Or is he just going to talk? Oh man, I just have no idea what's going to happen with that situation. I can't wait to see it. I would think because his daughter was just killed, Jaime would probably go in and just kill everybody, you'd think. But then again, he has been put in captivity himself as well, and he knows what it is to get his hand cut off and have all these things happen to him. So is he a changed man to that degree, or is he still the same man that fought against Ned Stark, Eddard Stark in the beginning of the series in season 1? So we're going to find out, and that will be really exciting to see how he deals with that situation. I would think he would just go and kill them all, but it's tricky. Maybe it depends on the situation and what he's going to decide. So that'll be the big decision. But I would think he's going to kill him. So maybe next week will be the last episode for the High Sparrow, unless they want to keep him alive for a bit and he captures him or something, or he leaves because he feels like he doesn't have the men or something. It'll be or the people may revolt or something. Could be a little tricky with that. So we'll see what happens with that. And then finally we have Tyrion with one of the dragons breathes fire at him. Which dragon is it? It seems like the two are still there, so they're still in captivity. And what is Tyrion going to do? Is he going to set them free to go find Daenerys maybe, or just kind of let them go and let them do their thing and make people of Meereen feel like, you know, there's still a power player there, and that everybody needs to control themselves. Be burning ships and shit. They're gonna need those. So yeah, burn the frickin' boats. So that's about all I can say for this week's upcoming episode. I don't think we'll see Dorne. I don't think we'll see anything from Dorne. And I think that's it. My highest points of interest right now, still the Wall, still getting to see Melisandre and Jon and what happens with that. And the Boltons, that's my biggest, for the season, that's my most anticipated. At King's Landing as well, too, just to see what happened with the High Sparrow and Jaime and the Lannisters. But I tend to think that they don't seem to be as much of a threat. Whereas with the Wildlings against the Boltons, that could really go either way. We learned that with Stannis, just because the Wildlings are the good guys and stuff. You could see that battle going either way in this series, I think. I think we got to give it to them at this point. Really, it's anybody's game. Anybody could win. Just because you're a good guy doesn't mean you're going to win necessarily. So that one I feel like is really interesting. But the King's Landing thing I feel like is kind of more obvious that the Lannisters would be able to kill them easily, kill all the religious fanatics easily. So that's all I got to say for this predictions video, guys. It should be a good episode. Really, just really enjoying the hell out of Game of Thrones, man. I mean, it's one of the best shows ever made for sure, and going to enjoy the hell out of season 6 for sure. I can't wait to see all the battles and crazy stuff coming up this season. The pacing of the show is unreal. The quality of it is second to none. Amazing, amazing show. If you guys like this predictions video, please don't forget to thumb it up. I always appreciate you guys thumbing it up. If you have a Facebook and you want to share through and you want to help me out, click the share, click the Facebook, share it through with your friends, and I do appreciate that. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, you want to see more of my weekly Game of Thrones videos, doing the reviews and then predictions, and I may also do a Q&A this week. So if you guys have any questions this week, and don't be shy, go to the About tab, private message them to me. If I get 10 or 15 good questions from you guys for this week for Game of Thrones, I'll do a Q&A. So send me what you got, and you got a good chance of it getting through, because I might not get that many questions for Game of Thrones because people... I don't have that many Game of Thrones followers. I have some loyal ones that have been here. I've been reviewing it since season 2, but, not everybody sticks around. Sometimes people leave over the years, over 4 years, that kind of deal. So that's what it is. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys again real soon for another, of course, the review next week. Hopefully a Q&A this week. It's Trev saying peace. See you guys.